Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. And today I have a kind of like a swatch party video. I think in the title I also described it as ranking because that's how it is called by the person that I've actually like drawn the inspiration from. But I'm not gonna really like go from like best to worst or anything. It's just me showing you my favorite shades from my top 10 favorite palette, for my top 10 favorite brands in no particular order. Just, these are the top 10, and I'm not gonna try to go into details which one is like first and which one is second, because I don't think I would ever be able to like come up with that ranking. That would just be insane. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. We're gonna do a little swatch party here and play with eyeshadows. But before we get to it, in case you're new here, hi, my name is Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows especially. I love everything fun, colorful, and sparkly, and yeah, just showing you my palettes, appreciating them, having fun with them. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. This video was inspired by Heather. I'm trying to come up with the name. I think it's Ashes on My Lashes. That's her name on YouTube, and she's wonderful. I love watching her. And she made a video like top 10 eyeshadows from her top 10 favorite brands. I think that's how it was called. I don't want to be here for 3 hours, so I decided to only pick the most favorite eyeshadow from each brand. Probably would be easier if I would do the top 5, because I nearly had a heart attack trying to like come up with what is actually my favorite, and I feel like if I would make this video tomorrow again, it would be completely different. So just bear with me on this one. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and let me just get into all the fun eyeshadows. I hope it's not gonna be like I've really tried not to only pick shimmer shades, even though that's just kind of the thing that I like need the most. And I don't know what I would do without shimmer eyeshadows, but I tried to like come up with some mattes as well to show you. And this was so hard, like just picking up the 10 favorite palettes, the 10 favorite brands. Ooh, I love so many brands. I kind of like, I don't really have palettes that I don't like. I have two palettes I'm kind of maybe decluttering, but it's mostly because I actually do have these color stories and maybe somebody else would enjoy these two more. But I love all of my palettes. I just really love what I have. I love playing with it. I love all the brands. Like if I wouldn't love them, I wouldn't have them. So it's just so hard to actually like rank them or pick favorites. But what I have here in front of me first, and again, it's in no particular order, just I was just kind of picking it from my collection, and this is the order that it was in, like that. There's no other like ranking or anything. So we're gonna start with Blum Bunny, and from Blum Bunny, I really do like their formula. For the first time I've tried them last year. I think it was November, maybe end of October. It was with the Roberts collection, and I really fell in love with their mattes. I thought that they're absolutely wonderful, but I knew kind of that that's gonna be the case because that's what they're known for. But then I tried this Lin's Collab palette, and I discovered their shimmers. And this was the first time, it's actually the only time, where I genuinely felt like, okay, this shimmer formula is out of this world. Like they have standard, nice, good shimmers, but in this palette they have two multi-chromes. And the one that I immediately was just salivating for, and it actually was my Pendos eyeshadows at one point, which I was just so happy because this shade is so pretty. It's called Slay. So as you can see, I have a pen in there, and honestly, even if it wasn't picked for the Pendos eyeshadows, it would probably have pen very soon because I just love it. just the most perfect shade. Let me actually, maybe I'm gonna zoom you in. Maybe then you will see it better. But like, do you see how beautiful this is? It is like a purple, green, everything. So let me kind of swatch it. I'm gonna, every single time I swatch it without actually looking at what I'm swatching, it doesn't turn out good. So let me actually make the swatch in a normal position. Okay, so this, now that you can, like now it's just greeny gold, but when I look at it, it's blue and purple. Maybe let me kind of try to, I don't know what I'm shooting now, because if I want to see what I'm doing, I have to have this palette and the mirror behind the camera. So I'm not completely sure if you're saying this. If not, then I'm just gonna pop in like a close-up of this. But yeah, this is just so incredibly beautiful. I love this shade. It is just so stunning. And genuinely, the first time I've used this palette and I saw this, I immediately started salivating. Like, it's insane. So yeah, this one has to be my favorite. I love their mattes. Their mattes are absolutely out of this world, but this really surprised me, and I just love when brands can surprise me. So yeah, like the mattes, I knew that I'm gonna love them. Everybody loves them. Everybody says that it's the best matte formula, so that the fact that I'm gonna love their matte was never a question. But I was always kind of scared about what they can do with their shimmers, and this kind of reassured me that they can if they want, and if they have the budget, they can. So absolutely stunning. Then staying with the shimmers, because that's the next palette that I have here. This year I discovered DD Signature. I already have 2 palettes from them, and I hope I'm gonna get more, because I just found out that their formula is absolutely wonderful. And I was kind of expecting that, because lately I've been hearing a lot of people like really raving about them. But still, like the first time trying their palettes and their formula, I really was not ready. So my first introduction to the brand was the Chromebook Volume 2. I do hope I'm gonna be able to get the Volume 1 as well. But this is just absolutely stunning. It's currently my palette crush of the month, so I've been able to use it many times. I think I've used it like 20 times so far. In the short span of, I don't know, I've been using it for 2 months. I think I got it 2 months ago. And I cannot describe how wonderful this formula is. Obviously, it only has 3 mattes, so I wouldn't comment on the matte formula, but I also have the Drops of Fantasy that I've recently reviewed, so I know that their matte formula is really nice, not just in this palette, but with the second palette as well. So yeah, they're just really great. And from this palette, it was really hard to pick a favorite, because like, do you see them? They're all so stunning. And I don't want to be predictable, but I feel like no matter what I choose from this palette, I'm gonna be predictable, because if you know me, you know that I kind of love and need all of these shades. But what really surprised me, and maybe I'm gonna be boring, but it's the shade Empress, which is this like, I don't even know, it's like silver, gold, slightly pinky, like, it's so hard to actually describe all of these shimmers, because they have so many flips and so many like interesting flips. It's kind of hard to sorry, I was just watching. So it's kind of hard to like nail it to a couple descriptive words. But this, do you see this? It is so shiny, like so extremely metallic, and in certain lights it's like a champagne, in certain it's like a super grayish silver, and then sometimes it has this like almost beige quality to it, but in a really interesting and exciting way. I don't know how to describe that. I don't think I've ever had a shade like that in my collection, because if I had something more like neutral that was shimmer, it was just really boring and just eh. But this one actually makes me intrigued, and it looks so pretty on the eyes. And I guess the reason why I picked it is because it's not a shade that I can really find anywhere else in my collection, and that kind of makes me like it even more. But I genuinely could have picked any shade from this collection. Sorry, my camera cut me off, so you know. Um, I could pick any shade from this palette and it would just be the most perfect shade. I've been really enjoying the shade Monarch. It is so pretty. It's kind of that like a pinky lavender going into greeny gold. Then Supreme, because it goes from this like minty green to this like blue, but like kind of like a deeper periwinkle blue. Also so pretty. Night is stunning shade. All of them, they're just so pretty. Then what do we else have? Cosmic Beauty. When it comes to Cosmic Beauty, I really love their matte. I love majority of their shimmers. Like they usually have like maybe one shade in their palettes that I'm like, maybe this is like either flaky or not really what I would have wanted. Sometimes it's the multi-chromes, because sometimes their formula is like a bit too oily or kind of, yeah, oily or slightly chunky at times. But it was really hard for me to pick favorite, because I was wondering between the whipped cream from Delicious Delight, which is a matte white that I absolutely love. It is a gorgeous white eyeshadow, one of the best that I have. But then I actually picked this Winter Wonderland palette, because I really love two shades from this, like adore. And it is the shade Frost, which is just, oh, such a beautiful shade. It's this super light seafoamy greeny blue. But then there's the shade Winter Solstice, and that shade is just something else. So let me actually swatch it for you. It's like a blue, purple, pink, green, gold, just everything that you could ask for. I don't even know if this finger swatch will do it justice, but let me swatch it on the wrist. And something about this shade kind of has a similar idea as the shade Slay, but also it's different, and I just love the way this looks like. Like, do you see the shift? It's so pretty. I'm trying to like really show you, but I think I'm gonna have to show you a like close up in a different lighting. I'm probably gonna do that toward the end of this video, just to like not have to insert that after each shade. But yeah, this one is so pretty. I've used it so many times and it just always brings me so much joy. Obviously next to these it doesn't look as sparkly, but it's one of my favorite shades from Cosmic Beauty, and it is a wonderful formula, and this one doesn't crease as much. I know that the shade Atmosphere, which is another multi-chrome in here, that one kind of creases, but this one is completely fine, and I know that I don't have to worry about that too much. If I pair my eyes correctly, it's not a problem. Then a palette that has won my yearly ranking last year, and a brand that has completely surprised me. Last year was my first time trying their palette, and currently I have 2 palettes from them, and I really hope I'm gonna get more, because they're so wonderful. And that's Fantasy Cosmetica, and I have the Harvest of Souls palette here in front of me, because this palette is just so extremely pretty. I love this color story. I just like, I mean, who wouldn't? It's a perfect color story. This color story inspires me so much. And I wish I had more time to actually play with this because I haven't used it nearly enough times and I really do want to. It just makes me really annoyed that I have so many other things that I go through, and sometimes this just kind of disappears in my collection, and then I rediscover it, and then I have the urge to use it for like eternity. So this one, there's so many wonderful shades here to choose from, and I was struggling, like genuinely struggling to pick a favorite because I really like this trio of matte shades. Like I could wear this every single day, but then I decided to actually pull out the shade Poison. It is the most beautiful green I have ever seen. This is literally like my favorite green in the entire world. Do you see this? Do you see this? It's just such a beautiful shade, and I needed to use matte. Fantasy Cosmetica is really praised for their shimmers, and their shimmers are out of this world. Like the multichromes, the regular shimmers, the duochromes, they just kill it every single time. But what I love about them is they not only have a wonderful shimmer formula, like genuinely one of my favorites. It probably is my top 3 favorite shimmer formulas, but they're mattes. Do you see this? This is just like one swipe and you get all this pigment for a light pastel shade. Like it is just insanely pigmented. I love this, and I can't live without this shade. If someone stole this from me, I'd go like ballistic. This is so good. I don't think any brand will ever top this. And I'm like that serious about that. Also, I love this trio with like the kind of teal and with this like bluey teal. So beautiful. And with the purple, and you can mix this shade or like use this shade as accent for anything under the sun, and it will just elevate it and make everything just cohesive and beautiful and fun and just playful. You need this shade, okay? I don't care if you don't like greens. You just need this shade. It's like a universal truth, and you need it. Then, a brand I only have one palette from, but they only released 2 palettes so far, so it's kind of, you know, I have half of their collection. But it is a wonderful formula, and I was like my jaw completely dropped when I first tried this. Is Singe Beauty, and I have the Galactic Visitor. Again, if somebody stole this from me, that would probably be the end of the world, because I don't even want to imagine what I would do. But this is how it looks like. Do you see this? It's just so extremely pretty, and I like so many shades from this palette. It is kind of concerning, but this is one of those color stories that I could use for months and months. Just this, and I'd be so happy. Like, I'd be so happy. My favorite shade is Milky Way, because again, it's the most like unique shade in my collection, and it's funny. I never really liked shades like this, or I was never drawn to them, but lately, I don't know what I'm doing with myself, but I love these kind of silvery shades, and this one is kind of like holochrome. I don't know how they describe this one from the top of my head, but it is a really beautiful kind of, not a fully silver, it's like a soft silver with all of these different sparkles. I really don't know how to describe this shade, but it is so pretty, and lately I've been really into that. Like, yes, I could swatch millions of shimmer yellows and greens that I have in my collection, because that's kind of my everyday thing that I always do. But I guess because these are shades that I don't wear all the time, and I only wear them when I like feel creative and I want to actually do something like super fun and interesting, that's kind of why I'm drawn to them with these types of videos. So yeah, this is what Milky Way looks like. And it's kind of, it has this like gold speckles, pink speckles, green, blue, but it's not like a multi-chrome. It's more genuinely like a holochrome, just like speckles. I don't know how else to describe this shade, and I don't remember how it was described on the Singe Beauty website because I don't think I've read that description. I just kind of describe them the way that they look for me, and sometimes it's accurate to what they say on their website, and sometimes it's not. So that's that. But I also really love these two kind of jelly shades almost. They're like the jelly formula from Colourpop. How are the Super Shocks? They're kind of like the Colourpop Super Shocks, but done right. Because I hate the Super Shocks. They dry down immediately and they're unusable in the pan, and they're just kind of waxy. They don't really look nice on the eyes. They don't sparkle at all, and they grease a lot. But these, there's no negatives with these. Like, they have a beautiful kind of sheen, sparkle effect to it. They're really nice to layer. They don't crease at all. They last nicely on the eyes for a full day. So yeah, I have to shout out these two shades as well because chef's kiss. So that's for Singe. Then we have Oden's Eye, which has been my favorite brand since forever because it was one of the first indie brands, like a genuine indie brand that I've ever tried. The only indie brands that I've known before this were like Essence, Catrice, Urban Decay, and I don't know, Too Faced maybe. So like, you know, and they're like quite like mainstream indie brands. So this was like first genuine indie brand that I've known about, and I fell in love with their formula. I don't have my favorite shades from the Christmas palettes because I've already used them up completely. So those would be my favorite. It would definitely be the shade. It was from the Christmas Eve and it was gorgeous, I believe. It was that like purple to like blue pink with that gold green multichrome effect to it. Can you tell that I have a type? So that was like the thing that I would just completely go crazy for. But I don't have that one anymore. It's gone. I've used it up. So I decided to go for this Mighty Monster Pie, which is a collaboration with Annette Oberstadt from Annette's Makeup Corner. It is such a beautiful palette. And again, it was so hard to pick because I love Glow Vortex, this inner corner highlight, and I love the serpent scales because it is that like blue-green, like very mermaidy type of shade. Obviously, the mattes are also gorgeous. Like, I love Solar Burst, so pretty, and the shade Jormungandr. I never know how to pronounce this one, even though I've actually heard the pronunciation so many times, but I never know. That one is also beautiful. These two together, so pretty. But I'm gonna swatch the serpent scales for you because that just, it's funny because I'm swatching shades I don't actually wear that often, but every single time I do, I'm just so happy with my makeup. Just shades that don't really go through my hands every day. And this is how it looks. Do you see that? This is just so, so, so beautiful. So yeah, let me swatch it. Oh, I swatched it on the wrong finger because I wanted to use the other hand because this one is full. And I'm just stupid. But that's kind of normal for me, so yeah. I love this shade. I think I've already used it like 10 times or something. I haven't used these collab palettes all that much, like from the collabs from last year, because it was 3 palettes releasing at the same time, plus other palettes that I was reviewing that month, and I wasn't able to like kind of catch up do that, but do you see this? Hello, focus. It's just so pretty. I love shades like these. I can never get enough of them. So yeah, this one is my favorite, but honestly, so many other would fit here too. Like I love so many of the Salmon 2 shades. I love my Hella palette. That first shade on the left top corner, that kind of like yellowy green matte, like super vibrant matte. That one also, love that one. And I used to love the shade Elf Wish, I'm not sure, from the Merry Christmas palette. That was also so extremely pretty. So those are kind of like the ones that I've always been really obsessed with. Then we have Little Cosmetics, and I've been loving their Avatar The Last Airbender collection from last year. I currently also have the Adventure Time pad, but I haven't played with it yet. I only opened it to see if none of the shades shattered, which they didn't shatter, so that's great. And I hope I'm gonna get to film with it in like a week's time-ish. But I hope in a week I'm gonna be able to start filming. But my favorite palette from that whole 4 palette collection is the Air palette, because I feel like it's the most unique of all of them. It's the most non-monochromatic color story. This is how it looks like. It's so pretty. And I like so many shades from this palette. I love the shade Ang. I love the shade Moon Peach. I love the shade Giotto. It is such an interesting shade. And then the Yip Yip, also just so pretty. This shade over here, like it is such a great neutral kind of based shade with a beautiful shimmery purple pink kind of sequence. But I'm gonna switch Moon Peach, because when I go for yellows, I really love these like super pale yellows to use kind of wherever I want. I obviously love bright yellows as well, but these soft ones, oh, they just go well with everything. So this is how it looks like just on the finger. Sorry, I wasn't in center. Yeah, like, do you see, like, it's such a soft pale yellow? And make sure to swatch it. I have to swatch some mattes for you because it's really bad right now. But I don't know if I'm actually yeah, now I'm not sure if there's gonna be any more mattes. But yeah, this is the shade Moon Peach, the second one. It is so pretty. I just love this one. I love this one, but also I love the shade Ang. It is so pretty. And also the shade Sky Bison. It's such an interesting, like, it's like a rosy brown, and it works so well with both like cool tones, unless they're like fully like blue, but even like if you have like cool tone purple, pink, stuff like that, it works so well with this one. But also the warm tones go so well as well. That probably wasn't correct. So yeah, if I picked matte, it would be this one. But I also love the blue matte from the water palette. Then the next brand is gonna be Mika Beauty Shop. I only have one palette from them, which is the Serpent palette, but I decided to actually pull from my singles because I love their singles. Their singles are genuinely just so good. I have majority of their singles in this little palette right here. And literally I could choose anything and it would just be a wonderful decision. I was thinking for a really long time what I'm gonna pick because I love the shade Galactica, which is one of their holochromes. That one is just so stunning. Then also, let me actually get it. Then also this kind of pinky green shade called Toxic, and I don't know if this one is holochrome or not. No, this one is just multichrome, because sometimes it kind of looks holochromy, but it's not actually, as I've just noticed. Yeah, so many great shades. But I decided to pick this one called Mango Sorbet. As you can see, I have a pan there. And this one is just a really beautiful warm orange with this like goldy sheen to it almost, but it's just like such a vibrant orange. And since we don't have orange swatched yet, I just decided to pick this one because honestly, like, I love all my makeup shades. Do you see how vibrant this is? I just love wearing this in especially like spring and summer. I go so hard for this shade. And I have sparkle all over my legs. This is such a fun video. No, but I love filming these. And the flip is kind of that like yellow that's almost green, like it's, I don't know if you see it on the finger, but you'll definitely be able, or I hope you'll be able to see it on in the swatch. Like, do you see this? It is just such a gorgeous shade. I love this one, that's why I have a pan in there. And there's actually not much product left because it's slightly flaky, like it's very barely, but slightly flaky, so you use a lot of it, and sometimes there is a little bit of fallout in the pan. So, you know, I have tiny little sparkles of this shade kind of all over the palette. But it doesn't matter, it's gorgeous, and if I'm gonna use it up completely, I'm definitely repurchasing it because I don't know what I would do without this one. Then we have the last two brands. So another new to me brand that I currently only have 2 palettes from, but again, I know that the formula is wonderful. So it's the Diavrun Cosmetics, and I decided to pull out this Smitten palette. I also have the Witch of the Wildflower, and that one has a wonderful matte, like such beautiful matte formula. But I decided to pull out the Smitten because I need to swatch the shimmers for you. Well, one shimmer. I was really struggling to decide between Hysterical, this one, and the Catastrophe. The Catastrophe is kind of like the shade from Mighty Monster. How was it called? Serpent Scales. So that one is kind of similar to that, and then Hysterical, I guess, is kind of similar to like, well, a couple of these because I just really like shades like that. But I'm gonna swatch Hysterical for you. I've been loving this shade. I don't have that palette for that long because I had it in my haul for April, so I've had it for like 2 months. This is how it looks like on the finger. It is so pretty. It's just such a gorgeous like purple, blue, pink, and it has I don't know if this is described as holochrome, but it has different colored sparkles in it. Yeah, do you see this magic? Every single time I see this shade, I just want to use it. But that kind of goes for every single shade that I've been swatching today. I love these videos because they make me realize how many wonderful shades I have. And I know how many wonderful shades I have, but it kind of reminds me which ones they actually are, and that I have to use them more. So yeah, Hysterical, and I think the shade name fits because that's how I would get if somebody stole this, or if I lost it or something, or if it broke. Oh my god, if this would break on me, that would be like a temper tantrum. Like, I don't know what I would do. And the last brand that I have here to mention, and by the way, it's not that it's like the worst of them, I really love this one, is Unearthly. Unearthly is one of those brands that is able to create both wonderful mattes and wonderful shimmers. there are brands that I like their mattes or their shimmers more than Unearthly, but I really like that they have this beautiful like in the middle formula that works wonderfully for both mattes and shimmers, whether it's multi-chromes or just shimmers, iridescent, like it just all works. It all looks really nice, and I'm always happy with my makeup. And that's kind of all that I really want from this palette and from this brand, is just something that I will always be happy with. I don't have to fuss about it. I don't have to like check it every couple of hours to see if it didn't crease. I just know that I can count on them and then it's always gonna be pretty. So that's Unearthly. I have this Faux Magic palette, but the shade that I'm gonna mention isn't from Faux Magic because I've been kind of like reorganizing certain shades in my Unearthly palette because I've been creating my summer BYOP. And if you want to see that one, I will link you to it. Because I kind of used my Unearthly shades to create that BYOP. And I love so many shades in that palette, like genuinely. Majority of them are my favorites. There is the matte white called Blood Moon. That one might be my favorite matte white. Like that one and the Cosmic Beauty. It's a really hard battle between these two. So I love that one. Then there was the Angel shade from the All I Ever Wanted that I also love. It's like a beautiful blue shimmer. And there's a couple more shades that I genuinely love from this brand. But this kind of makeshift palette that has a couple of shades from the Spring Magic palette also has this matte blue, which is called, let me see, Breezy. So this shade Breezy is from the Spring Magic palette. And it is such a wonderful kind of like bluish, this beautiful bluish tealy shade. So this is the swatch on the finger. Like it's so vibrant. And you don't need to like bathe your finger in there. Like it literally does that on its own. It doesn't need any like pampering. You don't really need to like fuss about it. Like it just works. Let me actually clean my hand because it's a mess. And yeah, this is the beautiful, beautiful matchy. Do you see how vibrant it is? And honestly, this color story is just so pretty. So yeah, that one, again, one of my favorite shades from Unearthly, and I don't have many shades like this in my collection. So these are definitely my favorite shades, and I think it really corresponds to everything that I really love to wear, and that just makes me super happy. Like all of these shades, every single time I use them, I just get so excited, and yeah, this really brings me so much joy. And it just brings so much fun into my makeup looks. So yeah, I really don't know what I would do without these. But let me know which shades are your favorite. If you have some favorite shades and favorite brands, drop them down below. And let me know which one from this collection agrees with you the most. I will definitely link Heather's video down below in case you wanna check her out. She creates like the most beautiful, wonderful videos, both like swatching videos and also get ready with me's and reviewing makeup. I just love her channel. She's always so fun and positive, and her way of combining like colors together is just top notch. So definitely go check her out. She is stunning, she is fabulous, she's wonderful. But that's gonna be everything for today. I will really appreciate all your comments down below, and have a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So bye.